Okay, actually today's session has been handled by Jayanti. Since she is on leave, I am handling the session for this QP requirement template. Already she has been sent you some practice QP. I think you have worked on that and reordered something in that QP. Now we are going to see how to fill the QP requirement template for the question paper. First thing, when you get the question paper, you need to reorder the question paper. This step has been already done by every institute. I think some feedback has been shared by Jayanti regarding this. So now I have an reordered test QP here, and this is the requirement template which will be shared with you. The first sheet is the basic details of the question paper, and the next sheet will contain subject 1, subject 2 and subject 3, like that. We will be filling the details for each subject here. First, in the basic detail, you have to give the subject name. I have entered it as test QP here, and number of shift, it will be always 1. We are handling only 1 shift for the exam. Then display marks, yes, it is also be default as yes, and QP languages English. Number of groups will be always 1, and number of questions, it is according to the question paper. In my question paper there are 42 questions, so I have given 42. Then total exam duration, it will be always 180 minutes. And total marks, it is also depends upon the question paper. Here I am having a 100 marks question paper, so I have given as total marks as 100. So this is the first thing which you will be filling in the QP requirement template. For each subject you need to fill the details here. If it is 8 or 10 subject, you need to fill the details for each subject here in this first sheet, basic details. Whether it is clear? Is there any doubt in this basic details?
Please respond to her. She's been waiting for your answer. Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Then next step we need to fill the subject details. This is the template, blank template, which will contain all the sections which we need to enter here. First thing, group name, I have given as test QP. Group name will be the subject name of the question paper. Subject name will be the group name, and the number of sections. Here you will be having a sections given by the professor. If it is a 4 section, then you can enter it as section 4 sections. If it is 3 section, you can give it as 3. Here I am having 5 sections, so I am entering it as 5. And maximum number of optional section to be attempted, it will be always 0. We are not giving any optional sections for the question paper, so it will be always 0. Then group maximum duration, it will be 180 minutes. Group submit button, previously we will be giving it as 120, now we are giving it as 90. That this thing will be shared with you when once the question paper creation started. Bharti ma'am will share you how many minutes we have to give for this group submit button. This will be shared with you during the time of the question paper creation. Then number of questions, total number of questions in the question paper, here it is 42. Then revisit allowed for view, it will be yes always, and revisit allowed for edit, it is also yes. There won't be any break time, so it is given as nil. Then group marks, it is the total marks of the question paper. Whether it is clear? Then second thing, we need to reorder the question paper first. You have been worked on that already, I think. Here I have a reordered question paper. You can see from 1 to 29, it is a multiple choice question with 1 points. It is all one mark question, and 1 to 29 it is a multiple choice question in my question paper. Thirtieth question is a short answer, so I have selected from 1 to 29 as a one section. So I have given as group name will be the subject name of the question paper always, and the section name, first thing is multiple choice question. Is the section mandatory or optional? It will be always mandatory. Question from 1 to 29 will be in one section, so I have selected it as 1 and 29. Then question type with criteria. Wherever there is a drop down, please select the options in the drop down. Don't try to type the option, you will be getting an error there. So from the drop down I am selecting MCQ. Count of questions, since it is 29 question, I am giving as 29. Then marks per question, from 1 to 29 all question carries 1 marks, so I am giving as 1. Then negative marks, if there is any negative marks provided by the professor, just mention it here, otherwise put it as nil.
Ma'am, from her to ma'am.
Yeah, yes ma'am.
Ma'am, there is an option that is section name.
Yeah.
It will be section 1, section 2 like that, or it will be multiple choice question?
No, it is up to you. If you want to give it as section 1, section 2, you can name it as section 1 and section 2. Since it will be easy for me, I have given it as multiple choice, short answer, etc. You can give it as it is, whether it is, whatever it is comfortable, you can take it as. For MCQ, these are the things you need to fill. First thing, the section name, then section is mandatory or optional, it is always mandatory. Question from question to 1 to 29, question type, count of question, number of questions to be attempted, marks per question and negative marks. These are the things for MCQ questions. Then in the question paper, I am having a short answer as the 30th question. In my question paper, there are no short answer other than this question, so I am giving this question as one group, short answer questions, and the section is mandatory. Question from question 2, it is 30 in both the tabs. Since I have only one question, I have selected 30 and 30 here. Then in criteria, select the option essay for short answer. In the drop down, you can see the tab essay, just select the tab essay. Then count of question, only one question in short answer. Number of question to be attempted is 1. Then marks per question, for the short answer question it is a 1 mark question, so I am giving it as 1. There is no negative marks, so I have mentioned it as nil. For the short answer type question, you have to fill this. For essay type questions, this tab you need to be filled. Is evaluation required? Is evaluation required? From the drop down it is always yes. Then answer type, whether it is an set, range or equal. If it is a numeric type, there will be a set or range option for you. Since it is an alphanumeric type question, I have selected as equal from the drop down. Then whether it is a numeric or an alphanumeric. If it is a numeric type question, give it as numeric. Since it is an alphanumeric in my case, I am selecting it as alphanumeric. Then case sensitive. For alphanumeric question, please go with case insensitive so that there won't be any wrong answer for students if they are having some case insensitive typo errors. So just give it as no for answer case insensitive. These 3 tabs have to be filled for essay type question along with the other questions. For MCQ, you don't need to fill this evaluation type and alphanumeric type. For short answer alone, you need to fill these details. Whether it is clear? Then again we are going for the question paper. After 30th question, I am having again a multiple choice question with 2 points each. So from 31 to 35, I am having a multiple choice question with 2 marks. So I have created another section, multiple choice question. Same like section will be mandatory, and the question from 31 to 35, MCQ type questions, count of questions will be 5, number of questions attempted will be 5, marks per question will be 2 here. Then there won't be any negative marks. This is for multiple choice question with 2 marks. So according to mark, you will be dividing the section first, and according to the option, you will be dividing the section. If the MCQ question having 3 option, you will be categorizing it in a separate section. With 4 option, will be categorizing it in a separate section. Since I am having 4 option for all the questions, I have created it in one section. Then again 4th section will be multiple choice question with 4 marks each. You can see it in my question paper. From 36 to 39, I am having a 4 marks questions here. So I have selected from 36 to 39 MCQ type questions. Count of questions will be 4. Number of questions to be attempted will be 4. Marks per question will be 4 here. So these are the ways for multiple choice, multiple select and short answer questions for question paper creation in QP requirement template. Till that there won't be any confusion, I think. If there is any doubt, please interrupt me in the middle. Then last section will be the comprehension type question. You can see in my question paper from 40, 41 and 42, 3 questions are comprehension type. There will be a sub questions for each questions. So in the group name we will be giving the question paper name, section name will be a comprehension, and section will be mandatory. Then if you are having sub question, don't count the sub question in this question number. We are having only 3 comprehension. In the 3 comprehension, we are having the sub question. So I have selected 40 to 42, only 3 comprehension type question. And in the question type criteria, there will be 2 options for comprehension. One is with sub questions shuffling yes, and another one is with sub question shuffling no. We are going with sub question shuffling no for all the comprehension type questions. Then count of questions will be 3. Please remember, don't calculate the sub question here, only calculate the comprehension type questions. And in the mark detail, you have to fill it as please find the details below, because since we are having a sub question here, we are categorizing it separately and we are not filling the details here. So just merge all the columns and just give it as please find the details below. Then once after you filling all the details, we can fill the comprehension type question, sub question for the comprehension type question below here. You can see for the comprehension we will be having a question, sub question, marks and type of questions here. So in my question paper for 40th question, you can see there are 2 sub question A and B, and both are multiple choice question with 4 points each. And for 41st question, there are 5 options, 5 sub questions with 4 points each, and all are MCQ type question. And for the 42, there are 4 sub questions with multiple choice 4 points. So I have categorized it as for C40, that is comprehension 40. So I have mentioned it as C40. Sub question C40 question 1, C40 question 2. Since I am having 2 sub question here. Marks for each question is 4. I have given the marks as 4 each, and type of question will be MCQ. If it is a short answer type question in comprehension, then you need to give the details as essay, range, numeric. That is, first you have to select whether it is an essay type or MCQ or MSQ. If it is an MCQ, MSQ, you will be mentioning it as MCQ, MSQ. If it is a short answer, you have to select whether it is a set, range or alphanumeric. Numeric or alphanumeric, this which need to be filled you by manually below the template for comprehension type question alone. So for C41 there are 5 sub question. I have given it as question 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and marks for the question and type of question. Same for C42 there are 4 sub question. This is the way for giving the details of comprehension type questions. Whether it is clear? Then once you fill in the details, then we are going to shuffling details. Here you have to give the sections whichever you have mentioned above in the question paper. QP requirement template, just copy all the section names and give the same section names here. Then from question from to the same question from to from the above details. And question shuffling, here I have given as no for question shuffling and option shuffling. It will be notified by Bharti ma'am when you are creating the question paper, whether we have to give yes for shuffling or no for shuffling. Then option breakup, third tab will be an option breakup. Copy the section name, question from and to from the above, whichever you have given. Option count, fourth thing is the option count. Since it is an MCQ type question, there will be an options. If it is a 4 option, give it as 4. If it is a 3 option question, give it as 3. You can see in the above section we are having 5 section names, and in the option breakup we are having only 4 sections. This is because I have neglected the short answer type question. For short answer there won't be an option count, so I have neglected that. For multiple choice and comprehension I have mentioned the option count. So this is the basic requirement template which we need to fill before once we enter into the metadata template here. Whether it is clear? Is there any doubt for you in filling the QP requirement template?
Murli, any doubts? Murli, any questions? Kanpur?
We are clear, ma'am. We are clear with it.
Okay, Kharagpur, you have any questions?
Ma'am, by Jayanti ma'am, we are given a question paper that is reordered by us, and in this question paper there are 3 sections.
What Jayanti is given?
3 sections.
Yes ma'am, அது வந்து அவங்க ப்ராக்டிஸ்க்காக கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. இன்னும் இனிமேல் தான் உங்களுக்கு ஃபில் பண்ணணும் ரெக்யர்மெண்ட் டெம்ப்ளேட்.
So whatever 2 papers we have given you, right? Question paper 1 and 2.
Yes ma'am.
That you will be filling the QP requirement template and sending it back as practice. So what she has shown is a dummy.
Ma'am, actually when you are filling the metadata template, there is one column that is section name.
Okay.
So if in question paper suppose there are 3 sections.
Show me them. I want to see them. Sorry?
Suppose in one question paper there are 3 sections
Right.
given by the faculty.
Yeah.
So should we write there under the section name column section 1, section 2, section 3, or like multiple choice question, multiple selection question, short answer, like that?
No, it is up to you. If you want to give it as multiple choice short answer question, it will be easy for the students to understand whether it is a multiple choice or multiple select questions. If it is simply blank like section 1, section 2, there will be a multiple choice or short answer. It will be easy for the students if we are giving it as multiple choice, multiple select.
See, there are 2 ways of ordering, okay? One, we could do section 1 can be all 1 mark questions. But the 1 mark can have an MCQ, it can have a fill in the blanks, it can have anything like that. Okay? Section 2 can be 2 mark questions. Section 3 can be 4 mark questions. That is one way of ordering a question paper. The other way of ordering a question paper is bring all the MCQ into section 1, bring all the short answers into section 2. So within the same section, I will have 1 mark question, 2 mark question, maybe 3 mark question also. Okay, when you see the next metadata template creation, now you will understand why we are asking you to push all the number of type of questions into one section, because there you can just define I want 5 MCQs, 2 marks into that, and that you make it into one row. Okay, when you split MCQ across section 1, section 2, section 3, for everything you will be putting out one row. So if you have 60 questions, I will have 60 rows in my metadata template creation, which is a little cumbersome. So we would suggest bring all the same type of questions into one section. Marks we can vary it, And for the student also, he knows, all these are MCQs, all these are MSQs, all these are this kind, so whatever. So that may be one, unless the faculty is really particular, don't change my order, put it in the same way, and I want to see it only like this, then we say okay and we do it ahead. So depends on how the faculty reacts.
Okay.
Okay. Bombay, you are clear on this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Bangalore?
Yes, we are clear. But henceforth, can you slowly? It will be better.
Okay, we don't want to take too much time also because sessions become long. Anyway, it's recorded. We'll send you the link again.
Okay.
Okay. And what will happen? So what she has showed is a dummy question paper. I think we have already shared 2 question papers for which you are did the reordering and some image cutting, right?
Yes, we have done that.
Those 2 question papers, you will now create the requirement, the question paper, this whatever is required. What do you call it?
QP requirement.
QP requirement template, you all create it for those 2 papers and send it to us so that we know that you've understood there where you all are getting it. So create one and send it to us. Let Jayanti check, give a feedback, come back to you. Then you create 2 and send it back to us.
Okay.
Okay, so that should, I think, kind of help clear all your doubts, whatever questions you have, what's the best way of doing it and so on. Okay. Okay, regarding, I would just like to introduce 3 people on our IIT Madras staff. We've taken, Deepa is no longer with us in our office. She has moved on to some other job. I hope you guys know it. So we have 3 more people who have stepped in now to take various tasks of the NPTEL office. One is Arpita here. So why I'm introducing is you all get now mails from different names from our office. So better that you all know who all you all are going to get mails from. So this is Arpita. She will primarily be handling the local chapters and TCS interactions and maybe some part of the portal and so on. So she will be doing that part of it. Then we have another person called Kanupriya. Hello everyone. Hi. So Kanupriya will be handling the portal. So she'll be giving the support along with me and Lakshmi for the portal. She'll be holding the QP process, creation process together and so on for us. So Kanupriya will be doing that. And we have Mr. Murli Krishna. He's taken care of the exam registration form. We are making some changes to the exam registration form this time. We are including cash payments and so on. So he's working on that process, handling our accounts for us, taking care of probably the portal also in some sense, some data integrity and so on. So these people are the new staff in this cadre. They'll be also copied in all our emails that we are exchanging, and they'll be interacting with you in various capacities during the run of this course. Okay, so we have there, that's Murli on the right side that you see. Kanpur Murli, hi, just say hi, no? So that's Murli, our primary contact from the IIT Kanpur office. We also have Ms. Lalti, Ms. Rajalakshmi and all who support in various capacities. They are at the back. I think we can't see them too much. So they are there. The image above that is Kharagpur, IIT Kharagpur office. So there we have our main contact is one Mr. Shiv Shankar Das, and we have a whole team there. The top right is IIT Roorkee. Nitesh and Jitin are the people we work there. Hi Nitesh and Jitin, how are you? So yeah, so that's there. Then the blue chairs are all IIT Bombay office. So we have 2 Bhartis there, and we have Riya and another team there. So they are there. And this is IIT Guwahati. So we have Queen and team here. That's the left part of it. And I think 2, that's IIC Bangalore at the top. So we have Guru Raj, Guru, and so that's the office there. Who's not joined today?
Delhi.
IIT Delhi has it. So they are not there. IIT Guwahati, is it clear for you? You have any questions on this? Sorry, I can't hear you. Okay, sure. So just create whatever is required, just create those QP templates and send it to us, and we'll give the feedback for you all. IIT Guwahati, when is the, so when is the earliest that you can kind of come? When should I start looking out for accommodation? I'm checking out with the guest house now. Yeah, so let me just check out the dates, and if there is availability even like this week, I'll let you know. Okay, or I'll check out for a hotel nearby. That was another one we used. I'll give you the dates immediately and they can fly. So anytime this week will also be fine, right? Okay, fine. That is great. Installations are happening. I think the TCS software installations are happening. Okay, Guwahati is done, Kanpur is done, Kharagpur is done, right? Okay, are they trying to contact you? Because I think they are right here and they are working on it. Bangalore is done? Okay, Bombay is done, right? Okay, so Kanpur, Roorkee you are done, right? That day they did it for you.
Done, madam.
Okay, so Roorkee, Kanpur, Bombay, ISC, Kharagpur, they'll be contacting you now in some time. Just make a system available for them on which we put the register file. They'll do the upgrade and put the auth file for you there. Okay, so the system should be ready to work for you for this training, and after that for the run we'll give you another auth file. Okay, this is not for the final QP creation, so don't create the final QPs that you've gotten from faculty during this training session. Don't touch that. Don't start creating also, because you'll get a separate authentication file for that. Only when that comes in, we'll start working on the actual QPs. Okay, and we are looking at something like July, maybe 3rd week or something for you all to come to Madras. We want you all to have the question papers with you and probably work a week out of IIT Madras on the QP creation, especially Kanpur and Kharagpur, because we have quite a bit of it. The others too are most welcome. So can we make some accommodation booking? I'll send out an email. I want at least one person to come here so that you can interface with your team there and kind of finish the work here by and large at least. So that we are done with all this QP creation, this metadata template, populating and stuff. You all can just go back, do the checks and get back to us with the papers. Would that be okay? I'll send out an email, but I'm just sounding you out on it. So Kanpur, Kharagpur, definitely 1 or 2 people we'd need here in Madras. And the other offices, one person would be nice to have here. You can also see what happens in the office at that time. Okay? Yeah, sure. Murli, is Mohan sir there?
Sir is here only, ma'am. Waiting for you, ma'am.
Yeah, sure. We want to. So all the other offices, IIT Kanpur had organized a SPOC workshop on Saturday, which was June 11, and we just want to hear from them as to how the workshop went, what was the feedback and all, because we have workshops coming up in Kharagpur, Madras and Bombay. So we want to know what happened there, what were the exchanges, what were the points they raised and so on. So we'll probably have Mr. Murli share his experiences now. Okay. Hi sir, how are you?
Yeah. Hello. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon sir. I just get a paper and a pen. I forgot my pen. Yeah, so we'll go ahead sir. TCS opening. Sir, mango. Yes sir, can we start?
26th of, yeah. It was on 26th of April when we first shoot our mail to all the 72 colleges who were coordinated by Kanpur for informing them about the workshop, right?
Okay.
So after first round of email, the Google form link which was published in the NPTEL website also.
Okay.
150 responses we got
Okay.
for the workshop, and primarily from the verbatim of the Google form what they have filled, I figured out there are. So one by one I called them up and just segregate them from the SPOC, because they said they only saw that there is a workshop which will be conducted in the IIT Kanpur. So just with the name of workshop they filled in the Google response. So I segregated them from the other SPOCs, and it was close to 61 confirmation we got after sending them confirmation from our end.
Okay.
Okay. But on the last week of workshop, means ending 11th of June, we got as many as 15 regrets from various reasons apart from various colleges.
Okay.
So yeah, it was the final tally was 45.
Okay.
45 SPOCs, mentors, and few of the new entrants also.
Okay.
So there were 5 colleges from Solan, West Bengal, Bihar, MP, Chhattisgarh, Haryana, and UP also.
Okay.
So these were the figures, and a presentation based on your agenda, this thing, means your mail. Professor Satyagiri given a presentation on those lines.
Okay.
So, and we organized a feedback session
Okay.
where we asked them to sit in 5 each on different tables, and of around 25 minutes, they came back to the auditorium once again, and one of them given their collective feedback to the whole audience.
Okay.
So those points we have noted down, and those were means few of the important points which are I wish to share with all the people. It was like the last date of registering course should be aligned with the odd semester of student university across India. That means all they used to means start their session during the last week of July or first week of August. So what their idea is to have the last date coincided with the opening of the university odd semester. This is one of the feedback which everybody shared with us. It was means August was from MP, July and August was from UP, and etc. like this, right? So one more thing which was prominently surfaced there, NOC code with the academic performance index, that is API, for the teachers, for the faculty. It is a UGC norm, and they want to some linkage if they undergo any of the NOCs. So they want to have some linkage in the form of API, academic performance index. That would help them to kind of go for these courses on a regular basis.
No, I didn't get this point. So we are giving them a score
Yeah.
and they are getting something. Now, what is this API from?
There is a academic performance index requirement from the USG as far as the teachers are concerned.
Okay.
So this is mandatory for them to kind of go for assistant professor to associate professor and so on and so forth.
Okay.
Senior scale professor kind of thing. So that linkage, if at all we have make some linkage of the, let's say 5 NOC courses, give them some linkage with the API, academic performance index, that would help them a lot.
No, I mean, who gives the API to them? Their college, or it's a university, or it's a national ranking, or?
So it's a UGC norm based on their performance as far as the academics is concerned. Maybe they go for a few research paper published in some of the journals. Maybe they go for some of the workshop they attend. Those have some means 7 days, 10 days workshop kind of thing. So if at all some linkage of the courses with API is there, then probably they will be in a good shape.
So we have to, I mean, they expect NPTEL to talk to UGC about this and get kind of approval from UGC to give them a ranking, is it?
Any of the arrangement in this regard.
No, UGC is the body to talk to, or is it somebody else?
Right, UGC.
UGC is the body, okay.
There was a need of data. Means every time we used to have a data of the student who registered for a course. What their idea is to have exhaustive data
Okay.
once for all. Means once you get the data of a student who registered for a course, that should be utilized for any of the process which are subsequent in nature. Means the scholarship distribution and the examination. Means once the data is available, some sort of coding, some sort of numbering which can be called for getting the data of the student, because data uploading directly on the server is a problem
Okay.
because of many of the reasons. Maybe at that time server is too busy or this similar kind of nature. So what their idea is to, once we go for the registration of the student, it should be exhaustive in nature, and that can be utilized for the scholarship distribution, for the examination. It will help them. It will help us also to prevent the redundancy of the data. Means the same data is being captured a number of times.
Okay. Okay,
And,
actually,
one,
one thing here is for the other offices also, if you all have seen Coursera, edX and world over the MOOCs websites, they actually don't capture more than 4 fields. They ask for an email ID, one name, maybe one country, and that's all. So the idea of MOOCs is, with minimal information being given, you should be able to access data and the course. Only when you say, I want to verify myself, I want a certificate which is valuable, there they ask you for a lot more fields. So it is more on that model that we have tried to work, wherein we keep the enrollment form very simple, and only if he wants to get to the exam registration phase, we actually capture all details. So we have worked in that mode, but now let's see how we go forward.
SPOC, they want, they need to have control of the data of that particular college. Means what all, who all the mentors are with them.
Yeah, we are getting all that now.
Means,
So
I have already, I have already informed that the revamping of this area is being carried out. Most probably you will get a very good result in that.
yeah, so
These
today,
were the main.
okay, sorry. Today we had a call with the Google team. So by this week, end of this week, we are going to see all the functionality. One is the mentor functionality, that is their college students can see their college mentors. Then by next week, we will get also the mentor feedback reports. We have asked some things like how many students attached to a mentor, what are the assignment scores for that students and all that. So we are calling it a mentor report, which will also be able to be accessed by us. So that is one more thing that we are planning to get. And the other feature we have asked Google for is for 93 courses, if you want to upload the mentors, it is basically course wise. So we just told them, can we put it all in an Excel and just upload it on your portal, so that in that course the mentors go in. Otherwise previously we had to do it individually. So that also they said they'll work on it. And currently by tomorrow or day after, we should be able to see profile sheets where with additional columns. So additional columns will be the local chapter name, the student's roll number, and one more detail. So that also we are getting by tomorrow, day after we should be testing. So we kind of should know by this week and next week some of the features which are implemented. So I'll share it with you as it comes in.
One more thing is the idea of whatever presentation we had Dr. Pathire presented, they want a soft copy. So that anyway that will be given to them, soft copy of the posters. What we have given two piece each of the 3 posters to everyone.
Okay.
And we'll be giving them this thing also, soft copy of the presentation of Professor Sakshi Roy, the soft copy of the posters, and probably few of the snaps. We have visited 15 of the active colleges also, means the gold medal, silver medal, and bronze medal trophies.
Okay.
Oh
yes. Wow.
This was.
You've done that, is it? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So we'll share the snaps in the Google Drive also.
Yeah, we want to put it on the website. The website, let's archive all that so that they can also take it from there. Presentation, can you send it to us by today? Maybe that NPTEL office discuss, we have that, no? You can send it to us so that Kharagpur and all can use the presentation or just make changes to that.
Yes. I'll ask Professor Sakshi Roy on this, and I'll see if that can be shared to you today.
So what was your criteria for the trophies? We can also use that.
See, all the 3 means Dr. Jyotirmay Patel from MIT, means Merit Institute of Technology. They were excelled in 3 of the course runs.
Okay.
They were active for 3 runs. So that is anyway gold medal.
Okay. Okay.
2 for silver and 1 for bronze.
Okay, so how many runs they were active in that you saw?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Okay, yeah. Did you have any faculty as part of the SPOC workshop? Did they participate in that?
Here, not many people are currently out of India.
Oh,
Professor Mani Narwal is in Singapore. Yes, yeah, that was the. Otherwise, we have some of the interaction, but not during the during the workshop. But on and off it was there.
okay. So Kharagpur and Bombay, you all can actually look out for your faculty who might want to be there on the day of the workshop at least for 1 hour, you know. They could talk to the SPOCs about their courses. SPOCs can come back and talk to them about what they have and so on. It'd be nice to have a direct, even before the start, so that they'll know some expectations from the SPOCs, what the colleges want and whatever. So we could, we are trying to do that here. So Kharagpur and Bombay too could try that for this SPOC workshop.
Sure.
Okay.
Fully.
Okay. So anything else, Mr. Mohan? Anything else which is
No.
yeah, we are going to start activating that request for an exam city probably this week, maybe today or tomorrow. I'll send you all out an email. You all can start work on it. So basically, what we are going to try to say is request for an exam city with tentative numbers from your college that you are projecting. Think will write the exam. And we are going to ask them saying give us some number which is within plus or minus 10% of the final. Like don't say now 500 students and give us 50 students, because TCS wants the data currently to start planning their operations. We are also scaring them with 74 courses, 75 courses and stuff. So they also want to be kind of start planning their operations. So give us estimates, like for instance some college knows for guarantee all second year students are going to write. They know that 300 students will come in. But if they're not sure, maybe by going by past data or their own college statistics or something, we are going to say request for an exam city, give us a number also, and tell us within a plus or minus 10% kind of baggage. So that we are going to start opening up. You can start talking to your SPOCs on that front. So that will be there. Otherwise, I think currently, yeah, we are just working on the courses and all that. Nothing else is happening now. Okay. All the offices, we have just sent a reminder back to share the data, the enrollment data and all that updations. So please update it so that on our website we can see the latest enrollment data. We have given a live link for people to see the enrollment data. Have you all seen that? If you go to NOC website, there is a link which says view the enrollment data for the 93 courses, and it's a live link for anybody in the public domain. So let us update numbers there so that it looks good there. Okay, Murli, can you get it done? Murli and Das sir, can we get it done if you haven't done it? Bombay is finished, they sent an email. The remaining people, we can probably have it done. So Queen, you can check out the enrollment details for your courses and probably put it in that Excel sheets. Okay. Okay, anything else? Murli, is your workshop for the internal faculty done? TAs and faculty?
No, ma'am. Not yet, ma'am. In the upcoming week, we will do it, ma'am.
Upcoming week. You guys have started working through the day, or what is your time like still?
What, ma'am?
Are you guys working through the day, or do you have still partial timings and all? You all are going full time. The office is fully functional.
Yeah, it's functional, ma'am. It's functional.
You started full this one. Okay.
Right, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You have to follow up on Professor Adrish alone. He said after 20th only he'll give us results. So maybe you need to follow up on that once he comes back.
Yes, ma'am. That we will do, ma'am. And Sudipta sir also, ma'am. Assignments he is yet to do.
Yeah, the
Assignments
calculus.
correction.
Basic calculus.
Uh,
When will we
Touch
get
with
it,
them, ma'am.
Murli?
We don't know when he is going to complete it, ma'am. But we are in touch with him, and we'll complete it and give it as soon as possible, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Yeah, that's okay. Das sir, that Professor Mighty, is there any other change in the score? Because we are going ahead with certificate generation, I think, now, microwave engineering.
No, yeah, today I received a mail that you can go ahead with the certificate generation, and Divanshu and Ditirupa, they are already in work.
Okay, so there's only one student whose mark he changed, na? There's no other change in that, right?
Right. Only one.
Okay, fine. So,
But I just wanted to know, just particularly during this time, because of the election,
yeah.
the semester exams were actually all schedules were in a wayward.
Okay.
So they were rescheduled, and now instead of June, actually they will be ending in July only. So what they are expecting that their new students,
Yes, sir.
they will be possibly coming back to the college sometime in the third week of July. So there was a request, is there any possibility in the enrollment closure date by 1 week?
Okay, let's take it closer to the date, sir. I think let's not announce it now. Let's just take it closer.
I'm saying this. Can we really consider?
See, the timelines that I've sent you, right? So 18th, if we close the enrollments, then only by 24th or something, we are even opening the exam form, because 93 courses
Exactly.
ka profile sheet we need to actually collate, put together, load it at the back end of the form, and then open the form, do some testing and open it. So that will take us at least 4-5 days in our office. So if we push the enrollment date to 25th, all the lines will move by a week, but the exam line will not move. So that's the whole
Even
problem.
if we do not shift the for exam registration, you are giving a week days,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yeah.
If you do not remove that, let that window be as it is.
We
Anything
can't.
if a person joins,
No,
Pardon?
we do a back-end load of every email ID who is there in the enrollment, right? So the day we close enrollments,
Okay.
only we can take the profile sheet out of the course builder portal. And after that, from 93 courses, we'll have to put together all of them and do it in a particular processing way so that the registration form accepts it. For instance, if we have, say, 2 lakh people enrolled to the courses, but that is like 1,40,000 unique users. Unique users in the sense of one person in multiple, I have split it all. So if I'm there in 5 courses, we put it as my email ID and I put all the course names that I'm in, and that's how we load in the exam registration form. So when I go to register for my exam, in my drop down I'll see only 5 courses and not 74 courses. So for doing this
Okay.
operation, it will take us at least 3-4 days for us to do it, check it. Sometimes some profile sheet won't come. I have to request Google Course Builder team to give us that sheet and so on. So we have put like 5 days for this activity to be completed. So instead of 18th, if I say I'm closing enrollment on 25th, the exam form will open only on August 1st. But we can close on August 21st because the exam date is fixed. We are not moving exam date lines. So that
Right.
window becomes smaller for us, the exam registration window. So that is where it all hits us, and with increasing numbers, when the window becomes smaller, the crunch is more for us here when we, are taking money in and so on. So that is something that we are finding. Let's see, sir, closer to the date,
Okay.
we'll see. Let the coordinators take on this. I'm not too sure. Sometimes they may decide.
sure, sir, no,
So I will
definitely.
sound it out to them, let them decide on what they want.
Okay. And just 2 more things, just because this is the first time we are also going through this. Examination center, you said that they have to write a letter to
No.
LPTL offices?
No.
Hmm?
In the SPOC login, right, when they go to local chapter website, inside once they log in as an SPOC, there will be a tab which says request for an exam center here. They click on the tab
Okay.
and there they put what exam center they want. And we'll also enable now saying give us the number of students you expect to write. So let them give a number there. Once we get that list out in the exam form, we will directly include that city and open it for registration.
Okay. And what about the scholarship?
Scholarship, I don't know, sir. We have only 31 lakhs left from last year, which is
No.
6,000 students.
No, even if at all the college wishes to recommend someone,
Huh?
how do they go ahead?
So scholarship last year, we are following the same process currently. So we will ask them to.
Because we have not actually
I know
gone
that.
through that same procedure.
Yeah, so inside the SPOC login, there will be another tab saying upload a list for scholarship. So they will upload a list giving the email IDs of the students from their college, and next to it will be the course that the student is enrolled to or wants to write the exam for. They will give us that list.
Okay.
We have a last date for that, we will close it at that. Then we will take out that list and we will compare it against our profile sheets. And we will basically at least see is the student even enrolled to the course on the portal. So 18th we close enrollments. So this date will be something like 25th. So 25th will tell us, give us this list. Now we'll check on that. Once we do that, we'll say yes, no based on whether he's there in the course or not. So here, if they make any typo errors, spelling mistakes, anything, we will only keep saying no, because for us it's just a direct comparison of email ID versus email ID. And for people who we say
Right.
yes based on money, on the exam form we will directly put 500 rupees there. So we have a field which says, is this candidate a scholarship candidate? And in a back end we will load that for this email ID, for this course, give him 500 rupees. So when that guy comes into the form and he goes to that course, he will automatically see not 1000 rupees but 500 rupees. So SPOC has to go to his login. He has to upload a sheet. We have a certain format also. They have to download the format from us, fill in all the details and upload it again. And once they are uploaded, we will give a date of when we will process and give you scholarships. They can again see who all we have approved for, who we have not approved for.
Okay.
And same thing for bulk payment also. Again there will be another tab which says now pay in bulk. There he has to upload a Excel which format we will give. They have to fill out the details and say whether he's SC, ST, whether he has scholarship, how much money he is paying, which exam city. There we'll ask for date, course, exam city in that form. So he will fill all these details, upload the form for us, and he will send the DD to our office, Madras office.
Okay.
We will compare it and we'll say it's okay. So everything will happen in the SPOC login, sir. So you can probably do one thing is you can just check the dummy login password that we have given of an
Yes,
SPOC.
yes.
Inside that
Sure,
we'll ask them to
sure.
activate all this. You should be able to see all that. You can
Okay.
show them also that, saying this is the way you upload, this is what you do, this is the format and so on.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Anything else? Murli, Bombay? Any
Hi
questions?
ma'am, in the workshop,
Yeah.
hi ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
in the workshop SPOCs said to upload their photos ma'am, like college logo and their mentors photos, SPOC photo and stuff.
Yeah. They could not upload.
So that we need to pick. Yeah, it's not uploading ma'am. So few of them told us ma'am.
They just have to have a good internet connection. Otherwise, everything is in their hands only. Actually,
Okay ma'am, there is no problem with our system, no?
no. We have 400. No, most of them do. Why don't you do one thing? Just get into the dummy login and password, and you try uploading. If it works for you, it should work for them. No.
Right ma'am, I'll do that.
Okay. Try that out. It will help you.
Thank-
Anything else?
One more thing.
Yes, sir.
Bharti,
Yes, sir.
there is a local chapter from Tripura,
Yes, sir.
but actually Tripura is not there in the drop down list. So what I have done, I have put it under West Bengal. Now I think we need to create a separate tab for the Tripura state, and we can ultimately shift that candidate.
Yeah, sure, sir. Done, sir. We'll do that right away. We'll do that.
Ma'am,
Yes. Yes, Riya.
just wanted to ask one thing. Being of hard disk is mandatory for becoming a local with NPTEL.
No, they both
Because
are
many of the
independent.
packages-
Both are independent.
because
For
many of
getting
the
hard
packages
disk
have
copied.
taken data.
Okay, 1 minute, Riya. For getting hard disk copied, you don't have to be a local chapter. Okay, somebody may opt not to be a local chapter. They can send us hard disk. We will copy and give it to them. Okay. They can be a local chapter also. It's not mandatory they have to send us the content. It is a suggestion and a request that if they have this content, it's much more useful for the students to access our content without the internet. But if they say, I don't have money, administration is not allowing something, whatever, fine, let them go ahead doing whatever they wish to do.
Okay.
Or some people say we already have the content but it's 6 months old, something, whatever. Ask them to just update the content, keep it, tell them that we strongly suggest they do this. But it is not that if they don't do it, we'll take them off our list or something like that. It's not that.
Okay.
Okay?
Fine.
Yeah, and can you just process that accommodation request for us for July 4th?
I have already processed, ma'am.
Okay,
I'll just get back and I'll confirm the same, ma'am.
yeah, I'll also book the tickets and I'll give you our itinerary, okay?
Okay, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. Queen, are your faculty and TAs comfortable with the portal and all and stuff? Have you checked with them?
Yeah, I have some of them are not able to log in.
Okay.
They have told me.
some are able to do that.
Okay, in case you can handle all the requests, no problem. If you require any assistance or something from us, let us know. We'll be happy to help them out because we are nearing the date also that they need to start populating content. So let us know if you need any help from our side, okay?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay. So I think we'll close here. If there's any other question, let us know. Email us or call us or what. Yeah, Larti, tell me. Yes,
Yeah,
Larti.
one thing, if you remember long back when Satyaki went to Chennai,
Yeah.
you had given him a Excel file which text where people from our end will be responsible, like somebody for QP, somebody for
Yeah.
in the faculty members and all that, if you remember.
I know.
So that, so can you resend that to me because Satyaki has lost it.
Oh, okay, I will. Sure, I will.
He didn't send it to us, he can't find it. So
Okay.
is it okay? Send it to me directly.
Yeah,
Then-
I have it. I'll send it to you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, sure, Larti.